Cubs Cast Corral. Yeah!
Welcome to the Cubs Cast Corral. It's a 5-minute roundup of some of the best Cubs podcasts on the planet. Let's start with the Cubs PS Plus podcast. Today is Mike Waller's birthday, and he says the Cubs have a lot of depth options on their pitching side in their $210 million payroll as it currently stands, and sees us doing business with the Padres along with others who see the Cubs dealing some prospects and maybe Javier Assad to San Diego. Lots of options in the bullpen as well to play the matchups with. You got Miller, Hodge, Merriweather, Morgan, and the newly added Presley. And Mike also talks about how Presley is not Neris because he just has more pitches. And even the Iowa Shuttle guys are pretty darn good. On the Locked On Cubs podcast, Sam and Matt are both sick, so they've been switching off episodes a bit. Sam likes Presley at the money they are paying him, but doesn't like how he's been trending recently. They also talked about how Presley was not guaranteed the closer role despite initial rumors, but there should be somebody that has the closer role. Catch my drift? Then on Bricks Behind the Ivy, it was more Sam Olber, as Jeff got a chance to talk to Sam about his time at CubsCon and why every fan should experience it at least once. Sam opened up about how his Cubs fandom took on a new life after stepping away from competitive sports in high school, and he filled the void with the passion and rivalry of baseball. Jeff also shared the story of how he met his wife on a blind date. We're going to have to hear more about that later. And then they dive into a discussion about the Dodgers super team, arguing that while it may hurt the game, it may also lead to bigger viewership numbers through the power of hate watching. On the CHGO show, the CHGO crew takes on the center field position, discussing who's the best at the spot, though PCA doesn't even take the top honor, with Cody saying he'd trade Jackson Merrill straight up for him. Meanwhile, they talked about Presley's welcome moment recorded from his car, and it gives the guys a more human side of Presley. And Luke reminded everybody that he did close out the World Series. He's got a lot of experience, and that Ryan Presley said his main goal is simply to win regardless of the situation or the inning. He also opened up about the tough decision to leave Houston in the first place, and he called Alex Bregman the heartbeat of the Astros clubhouse, although I think that just might have been the banging of a garbage can. Then on the Compound podcast, I finally listened to the CubsCon episode with Ian Happ interviewing Kyle Tucker and found out they were drafted together along with Dansby Swanson. So they're putting back the band together. And he also had Sammy Sosa on. What I found was really interesting. He talked about choking up with 2 strikes and changing his swing depending on the situation. Also having confidence and swagger in clutch moments. He also one-upped Ian when Ian mentioned the fan support at Wrigley, and Sammy said that his support was on another level than Ian's. What, Bleacher Jeff not good enough for you? Oh, and also Dakota Mekis' truck broke down on the way to the Lions game, and the compound is no longer on John Boy, but now on Odyssey. On the ReKap podcast, Gordo said, fans don't care about your $1 billion you spend on the team and your high payroll and everything. They just want to win. And the Cubs should win the division going away this year. Cap says that the Cease is the one move he'd make, and Gordon agreed. And the setup man on a show I have not had a chance to listen to yet, Jordan Wicks is going to be on, but he did give a little preview, and he said that Jordan felt like he messed up a little bit last offseason by trying to bulk up too much, possibly blaming the injuries that he suffered last year on that. And that is your Cubs Cast Corral.